and welcome to RMU Live. Today is Wednesday, April 13th. I'm Julia Wasilewski.
And I'm Nate Kingston, and here's what's happening now. A Ukraine Orthodox church in Pittsburgh is offering colorful signs of hope after posting a Polinsky egg sale Sunday. Members of St. Peter and St. Paul Ukrainian Church hosted their Ukrainian Easter egg sale. The church has been hosting this event for 54 years, and because of that, they have more than 1,200 crafted eggs are for sale. The church continues to take donations and is raising money by selling Ukrainian flags, buttons, Easter food, and baskets. Members of the St. John's Ukrainian Church is in the South Side held an event for children, and it held everything from painting pictures with the Easter Bunny as well. All of the money collected Sunday will go to support Ukraine and Ukrainian refugees. 17-year-old Dasha Zayahar arrived in Pittsburgh from Ukraine last Thursday with her younger brother and grandparents. She said she is glad they are safe and hopeful she can go back to Ukraine soon. The 11th grader said her school back in Ukraine has been providing materials for students during the Russian invasion. While she, her brother, and her grandparents made it to America safely, her heart is with her parents who still live in Lviv. All Dasha took with her to the U.S. were some clothes and notebooks for studying. She said she left everything else back in the hometown of Kiev. Meantime, Dasha's aunt is hopeful her parents will get out of Ukraine soon. They're hoping to flee to Poland this week before making their way to the U.S. as well.
Governor Tom Wolf has commended the introduction of Senate Bill 1176, which is sponsored by Senator Lindsey Williams. He also commended the introduction of House Bill 2380, which is sponsored by the Representatives Rob Matzey and Kevin Boyle. The proposed legislation will send $2 million in state funds to the Department of Human Resources, Refugee Settlement Program's contracted providers. The funding will help refugees to find housing, learn English, train for jobs, and certify them for degrees that were earned outside of the United States. State Representatives Kevin Boyle and Rob Matzey have spoken their opinions regarding the Ukrainian refugees. They believe that Pennsylvania should be assisting Ukrainian refugees and helping them to find peace within Pennsylvania. They have proposed the New Neighbors Fund, which would help support refugees from Ukraine. The New Neighbors Fund would authorize up to $2 million to help Ukrainians refugees make the transition to living in Pennsylvania and would cover services such as finding long-term housing, training for occupational skills, English as a second language courses, and certification for degrees that they learned overseas. Over 20,000 people have died in the Ukrainian city of Mariupol since the Russian invasion began. The military governor Donetsk region says,
intense fighting continues unabated in eastern Ukraine. New images show plumes of smoke rising from a residential neighborhood in the southern port city of Mariupol, where there has been fierce battles. An official from the Donetsk region, where Mariupol is located, says some 20 to 22,000 people have been killed in that city. In what has become yet another gruesome development in this war, the same official said Russian forces are taking the bodies of those dead civilians away to conceal the actual number of victims. A new report coming from the field is alarming authorities in Ukraine as well as European leaders and the Pentagon. A Ukrainian military unit in the battered southern city of Mariupol is accusing Russian troops of using a chemical weapon there. CNN cannot verify that claim, however. What we can report is that allegations about a possible use of chemical or biological weapons first surfaced with a statement on Telegram on Monday night from one of the Ukrainian units defending Mariupol. The statement said, quote, Russian occupation forces used a poisonous substance of unknown origin against Ukrainian military and civilians in the city of Mariupol, which was dropped from an enemy unmanned aerial vehicle, meaning a drone. The statement added that victims showed signs of respiratory failure. Another alarming development came from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky himself, who said that Russian troops retreating from parts of northern Ukraine had deliberately left thousands of mines in their wake in what he considered a war crime, adding they would not have done so without explicit orders from Russia's leadership. Zelensky calls this a new stage of terror against Ukraine. And finally, Ukrainian officials said more than 4,000 people were evacuated Monday from areas where fighting continues, including a few hundred from Mariupol. Rafael Romo, CNN, Lviv, Ukraine.
Thank you so much. The weather seems to have been warming up this week, right, Nate?
Oh, let's find out what's going on over with Jackie over there in the weather studio. Let's see what's happening in the wonderful world of weather.
Thanks, guys. I know you all missed me. You're beautiful, smart, funny, eloquently spoken weather person. So with that, let's get into the weather for today. Today's forecast is going to be a high of 74 degrees with a low of 54. Humidity is going to be at 59%, and there's going to be a 20% chance of rain today. At 3 p.m., it is going to be nice and sunny at 73 degrees, so make sure you get outside. 6 p.m., the weather is going to change drastically at 68 degrees with lightning and thunder and rain. And at 9 p.m., the night is going to clear up at 64 degrees. For tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a high of 65 degrees and a low of 44. Humidity is going to be at 70%, and there's going to be a 40% chance of rain. That is all for weather right now. Let's go back to the desk.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Now, moving on to some Pittsburgh stuff. Pittsburgh's City Council approves the plastic bag ban. Pittsburgh City Council unanimously voted to ban plastic bags on Tuesday. The ban on single-use plastic bags takes effect in exactly 1 year at all businesses in the city. There are a few exceptions, of course, like garbage bags and pet waste bags. Customers will have to bring their own bags or pay 10 cents for a paper bag at stores. Restaurants will also have to switch to paper bags for takeout orders. Paper bags are free for those with an EBT card or vouchers from the Special Supplement Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children. Councilwoman Erica Strausberger introduced the bill last year to help eliminate pollution and littering. Strausberger said the bill doesn't take effect for a year, so there's time to educate residents and businesses owners. But for local businesses, especially those who bag a ton of takeout orders, the plastic bag ban has some holes in it. Just this week, Jefferson Hills Borough Council has voted to permanently close 1 Gill Hill Volunteer Fire Company Station number 179. Jefferson Hills Borough Council has voted to permanently close 1 Gill Hill Volunteer Fire Company Station. Borough officials voted 5-2 against reinstating it as a fire department. So the station along Gill Hall Road will no longer be used in the borough, and the borough will now only have 2 fire stations in the area.
Former Pine Richland football coach Kay has been signed on to coach an out-of-this-world football team. The Mars Area School Board has voted on Monday to hire Coach Kay as the newest football coach at the high school. Coach Kay spent 8 years as a football coach at Pine Richland and led his former team to 4 WPIAL championship titles and 2 PIAA state championships. He also spent time as a volunteer assist for the University of Pittsburgh's program last year. Hopefully, Coach K can lead the Planets to a win this upcoming season. When we come back, we'll update you on all the biggest news in sports this week.
Stay tuned on RMU Live.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say, like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to RMU Live, and we're going to moving on to this week's COVID numbers. At RMU, there are currently 5 students in isolation and 0 employees. And there are also 10 students in quarantine as of right now and 0 employees as well. Overall, RMU has had only 797 positive COVID cases over the entire school year of the two semesters. I would say we are going to end the semester with some of our lowest numbers of the year. On to the larger side of things, in Pennsylvania there are just over 2 million confirmed cases and about 400,000 probable cases and just over 6 million negative cases. Also, for the total vaccinations for PA is just short of 19 million. All of these cases are recorded as of today according to the Pennsylvania Department of Health. And this is going to be moving on to our Health Minute.
COVID-19 cases are now rising in more than half of the U.S. states, but are still relatively low overall. One of the former U.S. health officials says COVID-19 vaccinations could become an annual shot as early as this fall. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
An uptick in COVID-19 cases, but overall the daily rate is still one of the lowest since mid-July.
We are seeing case numbers rise in New England, here in the Mid-Atlantic. We're going to see this, right? In the pandemic, we're going to see moments where cases go up, cases go down.
While some cities could move to reimpose restrictions, others are loosening requirements. With fewer cases and less demand, many COVID-19 testing sites are shutting down as more people get home tests. However, that could lead to a decrease in the number of reported cases. That's why top U.S. health officials say it's important to keep an eye on hospitalizations.
If we were to see a huge spike in cases, we'd also see that eventually trickle into hospitalizations. We're not seeing that. Hospitalizations right now at the lowest level since March of 2020. That's good news. So no doubt, home tests means we miss some cases. But that said, I think we have got other metrics we're tracking as well.
When it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine, some public health experts believe very soon it will become a shot you get every year.
I think we're in this unusual period right now where we're calling these boosters. We're telling that people who are vulnerable to the infection to get a shot every 6 months. That's effectively what we're doing to make sure that they're up to date and have maximal protection. And we're transitioning towards this probably becoming an annual vaccination starting this fall.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Every household in the U.S. can order 2 sets of testing kits, 8 tests in all, for free from the federal government. They are rapid antigen tests that will give you results within 30 minutes. You can order them at covid.gov. In some sports news, the Pirates have decided to sign Brian Hayes onto a longer contract. The decision was first announced on Tuesday morning just before the Pirates' home opener. The third baseman was reportedly signed onto an 8-year contract extension, taking Hayes all the way through the 2029 season, with an option to continue through 2030. General Manager Ben Cherington gave a statement regarding the $70 million contract, stating, quote, "I'm grateful that we will get to see Key wearing black and gold for a long time," end quote. Congratulations to Hayes and the team, and let's go Bucks. Now let's send it over to Michael Deemer to give us all the latest news on sports at RMU.
Deemer, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. The men's and the women's lacrosse teams hosted their party on the plaza Saturday afternoon at Joe Walton Stadium. The women's team kicked off the event against Kent State, and during halftime, the 2021 MAC champions received their conference championship rings. Julia Cotterwas led the Colonials with 4 goals. She was among 8 goal scorers in the dominant 15-6 win on the special day. The men's team played immediately after the women's team against Bellarmine. Taggart Clark scored 4 goals, and his counterpart Corson Keeley scored 3 in a 12-9 win. Both teams are now undefeated in conference play, with the women at 7-0 in MAC play, and the men are 2-0 in the ASUN play. That same day, the softball team traveled to Highland Heights, Kentucky to kick off their series against the Northern Kentucky Norse. The two teams were in a thriller, and ring the bell once again, Erica Bell hit the clutch 2-run double to take a 5-3 lead in the top of the 9th inning, if you can believe that. On Sunday, the two played a doubleheader. The Norse got their revenge in the early game, squeaking by with a 1-0 win. However, the Colonials went deep 3 times in a 5-3 win. It was announced yesterday that RMU Volleyball's Emily Devlin has been offered a 60-day extended tryout with the WWE. Devlin played all 4 years on the RMU Volleyball team, and she is set to graduate in May. The Pittsburgh Penguins are on the hunt to make the playoffs for the 16th consecutive season. Our own Colby Sherman broke down the game against the Nashville Predators on Sunday afternoon.
To snap a 3-game losing streak, the Penguins hosted their 2017 Stanley Cup opponent, the Nashville Predators. 5 minutes into the first period, Rickard Rakell sent a beautiful pass over to Sidney Crosby to get the lead.
Game number 1100 for Sidney Crosby starts with a goal.
Nashville will not go away quietly, though, as a cross-ice pass was sent to Matt Duchene as he raced into the Penguins zone and scored.
Scores! Long-range feed converted by Duchene, and it's even here with 1:11 to go in the period.
Next play for Nashville can only be described as absolute chaos as they continue to fight for the puck for the lead.
The post, and they score! It found its way to Nick Cousins. Nashville takes the lead.
Couple of odd-man breaks there, led by Jeannot. And that second one, he did a nice job of getting that wrist shot through before it could be deflected. The play being...
And now the Penguins ahead on the stick of Rickard Rakell.
Rickard Rakell continued his great start to the Penguins as he dumped it off to Sidney Crosby, and Jason Zucker scored.
On the setup from Sidney Crosby.
Mike Matheson had the game on a stick. He lost the puck. Crosby gathered it, gave it to Rakell. Rakell gave it back to Crosby. He scored, and the Penguins won a huge game against Nashville.
Crosby waits, disc across Rakell. Crosby scores! Point number 1400 for Crosby is an overtime winner.
On Tuesday night, the Penguins have a chance to clinch a playoff spot as they host the New York Islanders.
Thank you, Colby, for that. As you saw, the Penguins were pushing for the playoffs on Saturday. However, on Saturday, the Pens played their arch-rival Washington Capitals, and after 1 minute to play, the game was already 1-1. In the high-scoring 63 game, the Capitals ended up winning. Pirates baseball is officially back. The Bucs opened their 2022 campaign against the St. Louis Cardinals. Their season started off rocky with a 9-0 loss on opening day of the Major League Baseball season. They started off 0-2 but after a 6-2 loss, but they finally got their first win in their third game with a 9-4 victory. Yesterday was 4-12 day, an always exciting home opener at PNC Park, but before the 4-12 first pitch, Pirates phenom third baseman Q. Brian Hayes signed the richest deal in Pirates history with an 8-year, $70 million contract extension. In the game, however, the Cubs got on the board first with 2 solo home runs by rookie Japanese native Saya Suzuki on back-to-back at-bats. Brian Reynolds hit a solo home run himself in the 8th inning, but it was too little too late as Chicago pulled out with a 2-1 win. Pirates start their season 1-4 on the year. That's all from the sports from this semester. Sports will be back in the fall on RMU Live. Let's head back to Julia and Nate at the desk.
Thanks, Michael. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins has passed away at the age of 24. Haskins was reportedly riding in an Uber while with the team in Florida while a driver pulled over due to intoxication. He then got out of the vehicle and was attempting to cross a highway when a dump truck collided with him, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. And traffic homicide and highway patrol are continuing to investigate the incident. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin responded to Haskins' passing with a heartfelt tweet, calling him, quote, part of our Steelers family, end quote, and sending his condolences to the wife, Calabria, and the rest of his family. There will be a memorial service held for him on April 22nd, and all of us here at RMU Live send our condolences to his family.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Volver a vivir esos momentos comienza con protegerlos contra el COVID-19 y sus peligrosas variantes nuevas. Obtén la información más reciente en detidepende.org o consulta con tu pediatra o proveedor de servicios médicos.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Said I'm fine.
See you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
Welcome back to RMU Live.
This week, Hope Beatty sat down with the leaders of RMU Thrive to give us some insight on the color run that happened last weekend.
RMU Thrive, the Campus Counseling Center, and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention all teamed up to host the 6th annual Out of the Darkness Walk on April 9th.
So RMU Thrive is the student outreach organization on campus. It's with the Counseling Center. We partner with the Counseling Center to do some mental health outreach activities on campus and just try to get everybody involved, engaged, and just raise awareness.
RMU Thrive's main goal is to help people feel comfortable talking about mental health.
RMU Thrive's main message to the student body is just to raise awareness of mental health, do outreach events such as like sexual assault awareness, general mental health awareness, suicide prevention, coping with anxiety. Just like the main message is just to get the word out there, spread awareness, just try to make everyone feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it.
RMU Thrive leader Trudy Diamond explained just how important maintaining good mental health is.
I think maintaining your mental health is one of the most important things, if not the most important, because without doing that, you really can't do much else. If you're not okay, you can't help others. You won't be putting your full self into your schoolwork or your other activities. And just without maintaining your own mental health, it's really hard to get other things in your life accomplished. So I would rank it as probably one of my #1 priorities.
Diamond also encouraged individuals who are struggling to reach out to either a friend or the counseling center.
I would give them advice to reach out, if not to a friend, to one of the RMU counseling staff. It's a great resource, and there's always people there to be there. You don't ever have to be alone, and I think that's one of the biggest things is you don't have to try to be alone or pretend that it's okay to be alone, because it's okay to reach out.
Thank you, Hope. Now it's time for today's arts and entertainment news. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Lock everything down. We're just trying to get home.
When the stars of director Michael Bay's Ambulance go on the run, most of the people chasing them are not actors.
I had 52 real LAPD. So we had real snipers, real SWAT, real undercover, real tactical teams. There's only a few actors mixed in there.
Ambulance is now in theaters. Laura Dern is hitting the road. The Oscar and Emmy winner is set to star in Lonely Planet, described as a love story set in Morocco. Susanna Grant is writing and directing the film for Netflix.
We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no.
Yes, we're still talking about We Don't Talk About Bruno. The earworm song from the Oscar-winning film Encanto now tops Billboard's all-time chart of Disney songs, surpassing such classics as Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King and Let It Go from Frozen. Singing along in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Thank you. And now for even more news in the wonderful world of arts and entertainment, we're going to send it over to Sam Dutch to see what's going on.
Sam, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Nate and Julia. As always, the world of arts and entertainment is full of news. On the sadder side of things, American actor, voice actor, and stand-up comedian Gilbert Gottfried died yesterday at the age of 67. He was said to have had the most recognizable voice in Hollywood and was known for his crude humor and loud, grating voice, which helped give him life to many animated characters, including Iago the parrot from Aladdin and the voice of the Aflac duck in the company's insurance commercials. His edgy humor sometimes got him into trouble, but he was always able to win over the audience, and he made his mark across many animated works. He passed due to myotonic dystrophy type 2, a form of muscular dystrophy, and is survived by his wife and 2 children. Gilbert Gottfried also was featured in The Fairly Odd Parents, which aired on Nickelodeon, and the network recently had their Kids' Choice Awards. The 35th Kids' Choice Awards took place on Nickelodeon on Saturday and featured lots of orange blimps and slime. It was hosted by Miranda Cosgrove and Rob Gronkowski. One surprise was American dancer, singer, and YouTuber JoJo Siwa was not at the event. When she was asked why, she said she simply wasn't invited. South Korean boy band BTS broke a record for most Kids' Choice Awards blimps won by a music group, bringing their number all the way up to 6. Spider-Man got a lot of recognition, with Spider-Man No Way Home winning Favorite Movie, Tom Holland winning Favorite Movie Actress, and Zendaya winning Favorite Movie Actor, and Zendaya winning Favorite Movie Actress. Despite their sour history, Olivia Rodrigo, Joshua Bassett, and High School Musical, the series, also took home several awards, including Favorite Kids Male and Female TV Stars and Favorite Kids TV Show. Another show that got a lot of recognition at the awards was Icarly, which debuted its second reunion season on Friday. It started out strong with 2 episodes, the first one featuring Creddy back together for a not-so-real relationship, and the second one with some iconic past Icarly stars making appearances. The show came back out last year, featuring familiar faces Miranda Cosgrove, Jerry Trainer, and Nathan Kress. New episodes come out every Friday on Paramount+. Well, since it's the last episode of the semester, some things to look forward to include films Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which premieres on May 5th, Lightyear premiering on June 17th, and DC League of Super Pets coming out on July 29th. In some concert news, some concerts coming up in the Pittsburgh area include Big Time Rush at the Peterson Event Center on July 9th, the band Camino on June 24th at Stage AE, and Thomas Rhett at the Starlight Pavilion on June 14th, just to name a few. That's all I have for today. I hope you all have a few upcoming months, and we'll see you in the fall. Let's send it back over to the desk.
Thanks, Sam.
When we come back, Jackie's going to give us the weather update for this week.
Right here on RMU Live.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father.
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Welcome back to RMU Live.
Now, as we said before, we're going to be kicking it over with Jackie in the weather studio. Jackie, what do you have for us?
What I have for you, the 5-day weather forecast. So let's start with Friday. Friday is going to be a sunny but cloudy day at a high of 67 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. Saturday is going to come in with the rain at a high of 59 degrees and a low of 37 degrees. Sunday is going to be a lot more sunny than clouds at a high of 49 degrees and a low of 32. Monday is going to be the same as Saturday with a lot of rain at a high of 48 degrees and a low of 36. And Tuesday, this is Tuesday. Have a beautiful semester. I love you all.